So excuse me if I sound a bit off today. I'm still recovering from a common cold, but I wanted to talk about ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Now, when dealing with these people, we need to know our rights and we need to know exactly what we can and cannot do. Now, if you go to the frequently asked questions on their federal website, it tells you what they can do. They are allowed to question you. They are allowed to detain you. They are allowed to take you in if they determine that you're an illegal alien. So I'm going to say this. If you are illegal, the best thing you can do is don't resist. You're going to have to go with them. You're here in the country illegally. They're going to look at you like you're currently breaking the law, because technically you are. You know, you're here illegally, you're breaking the law. They're going to treat you like the Constitution does not apply to you. They're going to treat you like 3/5 of a man. So if you are from this country and you are a US citizen, you do have constitutional rights that you are allowed to exercise when necessary. So I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, outside of your home, they have home court advantage. They've been given permission to essentially do whatever the hell they want to do with immunity. And that's unfortunate.
The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job.
And we're allowed to speak on that. And we're allowed to feel negatively about that. But that's for another topic, another story. But when it comes to being inside the home, if you are not an illegal immigrant, you're legally in this country, and they do not have a warrant for you, they have no warrant to come inside your home. If they force themselves into your home illegally, right? They do not have permission from a judge to enter your home, and they have no reasonable suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant. You're here in this country legally. You were born here, or you have legal citizenship status. You're good. If they force themselves into your home, the Second Amendment was created for self-defense. Depending on the state you live in, some states have stand your ground laws, some states have castle doctrine. I would say, as a legal US citizen, as long as you're not harboring any illegals in your home, you have that constitutional right to defend yourself against any threats to your castle. Okay? I want you guys to understand that. Now, I'm not saying to go out and bother these guys. I'm not saying to harm these guys. But if they enter into your home unlawfully, the Second Amendment is created for a reason. Now, I will say this, sit down and talk with your family, come up with a plan to determine, if anyone enters your home unlawfully and tries to snatch you away. What's the plan? If there's only one or two of you armed in the home and there's four of them outside, what are you going to do? Are you going to protect yourself against this terroristic threat? Or are you going to just give up and allow them to take you, even though you're here, lawfully? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate. When I say that, I don't mean to go out and threaten these officers. No. When it comes to law enforcement officers, don't threaten them. Don't make any threats. Don't try to hit them. If you see them in person, don't do anything or say anything that could be deemed as a threat. But when you are met with a threat in your castle, you are allowed to exercise your rights. So, I think that's something that we all have to understand here. This is extremely an important topic that I think a lot of people should be talking about right now. And, a lot of people have said, all these 2A guys, they're not really saying anything. Well, I'm going to say this. A lot of these 2A guys, if I'm being real, a lot of them really want this shit. They're enjoying it. That's why you're not really seeing a lot of people speaking on this shit. The only people speaking on it is really the minorities, for real. But hey, man, like I said, understand, the gun laws, arm yourself. That's extremely important. Arm yourself, not just for this, but for any threats that can take your life or your family's life. You want to be in a position where you could defend yourself at all times. Defend yourself, right? Get armed, study those gun laws, know them like the back of your damn hand. You feel me? And know how to lawfully exercise your rights, and you have nothing to worry about. Stay safe.